Oh man, this is the shit I'm talking about, bruh. Shannon Briggs just interrupted. He barged it to the, or actually he crashed into the David Haye press conference. Um, and confronted David Haye, and we all know that David Haye announced that he will be fighting Arnold Jarajiv um, on May 21st, which is the same date that we have Wilder Povetkin and Parker and Takam. So this is definitely going to be a damn smashing weekend for the heavyweights on May 21st, and I'll definitely be at home all day watching those fights. Believe that. But anyhow, Briggs just interrupted the press conference, and and this time he looked more realistic than the last time when he interrupted the press conference, which was the Vladimir Klitschko and Alex Leopold press conference, which we all know that was a staged press conference. But if this one was staged, I mean, you could take it as it is, but this actually looked more serious and more genuine because David Haye looked shocked when Briggs walked in because he had no idea that he was going to show up. So Briggs had challenged him and said, "Look, why the hell you fighting this guy instead of fighting me?" And David Haye's like, "Look, if you could pass a brain scan, then maybe we could talk about fighting." He's like, "Well, okay, wait, why are you fighting?" He was like, "Look, you're not fighting me, but you're gonna fight this bum right here, a guy that nobody knows about." And David Haye's like, "Look, this guy's 29-0. What are you talking about? What, 29-0? So what? No one's." And Briggs is like, "So what? Nobody's never heard of him. And I'll knock this guy out right now." That's what Briggs said. He said, "I'll knock this guy out right now. Nobody's never heard of him." He said, "Well, okay, first of all, Vitaly Klitschko put a beating on you, okay? So why should I consider a fight with you?" And, David Haye, man, he's blowing a little hot smoke when he say things like that, okay? But I'll get to that in a second. But Briggs is like, "Look, you said that if we can fight, right? If you put me on your undercard, then we'll fight, right? Then we'll fight." David Haye's like, "Look, if you could pass the brain scan, if you could pass your medicals, then maybe we can talk. Maybe we can talk." And I can tell you one thing, the security and the bouncers, whatnot, or I say bouncers, the security, they wouldn't even let Briggs go near Haye. Not even go near him. Man, hey, man, if you guys don't like the heavyweight, I mean, seriously, this is what I'm talking about on the heavyweights, man. If y'all don't like the heavyweight division, then I'm sorry, man. Something's wrong with y'all, man. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is how you call somebody out. You go in there face and do it. Go walk up right to them and you tell them how you feel about it and how you should get the fight with them. All right? Now, speaking of David Haye, now on to him. He actually gave an interview with IFL, right, minutes after the press conferences ended, of course, minutes, after Shannon Briggs had barged in and stormed in and confronted him. He blamed IFL TV for setting that up. And you could tell he was very upset about that. But in one part of the interview, he mentioned that, "Look, Shannon Briggs, I hit harder than Vitaly Klitschko, okay?" And this is what David Haye said. "I hit harder than Vitaly Klitschko. If me and Briggs ever fight, I'll knock his ass out. Point blank." And for David Haye also to say that, kind of dismiss Briggs and say, "Look, if he looks impressive, then yeah. But if he doesn't, I might not consider a fight with him." Well, it's funny for David Haye to say things like that because, first of all, you fought Mark DeMori on your comeback trail, number one. And no disrespect to Mark DeMori. And let's be fair and honest here. Even though Shannon Briggs has severely declined over the years, he's still a better fighter than DeMori, and he would give a much better effort to DeMori if he had fought Haye. Much better effort. And let's be honest, he's much more technical than DeMori. So for David Haye to sit there and say that I have to consider thinking about him if he could pass his medicals or he pass the brain scan or if he looks great, my undercard, if I put him on my undercard, then maybe I'll talk about it. If he doesn't, then, I'm not going to consider the fight. It's funny for David Haye to say things like that, man. Him being Mr. Contradiction that he is. So, I don't know, man. And I also heard that Frank Warren was very, very distraught or very appalled that Shannon Briggs is still fighting at the age of 44. Well, it's kind of funny, though, because Bernard Hopkins, up to age 44 and 43, is still fighting. He's 51 now. He looked great at that age, but let's not get twisted. Shannon Briggs is no Bernard Hopkins. But, Yeah, but the thing is too, Briggs hasn't really, if you think about it, he hasn't really taken much damage in his career other than, the Darren Wilson fights and the Lennox Lewis, and of course the horrendous beating he took from Vitaly Klitschko. I mean, he still has his efficiencies. He still has his health efficiencies, but the one thing we all know about Briggs is that his stamina has always been a very, very critical problem with him. That's always been his Achilles, his stamina, and he doesn't really fight in spurts. He always want to punch himself out early to get guys out of there. So that's why it would explain his first round knockouts in his career, that he has the most of anybody in boxing history. But, or I think heavyweight history that I know. I think it could be entire history as well. So, um, now I'm also seeing comments, and I'm also hearing that people call Arnold Jarajive a bum. First of all, he's not a bum. Okay, this is him. The fight between him and Haye should be a good fight. Hopefully he doesn't go in there and try to take a dive like Demore did, and I honestly believe that Demore did take a dive. But other than that, I think this is going to be a good fight, and I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for David Haye. Yes, I do expect Haye to win this fight, but I don't think it's going to be that easy. It's going to be pretty tough. I think it's going to be a competitive fight, but I'll do another video on that shortly. But anyhow, I honestly would love to see this fight, to tell you the truth. I want to see David Haye versus Shannon Briggs. And let me know what you think about this. If they were to match up, who you think would win? Care to comment, share, subscribe, signing off. Peace. Let's go, champ!